All right, welcome to the San Diego Cruise Coach Show, the long-awaited return of it. In today's episode, and what we wanted to do for the first episode, or just from now on, is start using Streamlabs or another OBS for more graphics and whatnot. We haven't been able to get to work with. We decided to do it old school, just like we did last year, just showing you the game. But last year we just showed you the coach's office. Oh my gosh, I do not want to see the quarterback running. So since we want to do this show live 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday. But this week is just a little too crazy. People had some emergencies to deal with. Nothing like oh, it's someone's gonna die emergencies, but stuff that has to be taken care of right away. That was Tuesday's issue, and then Wednesday we tried to do it again, but I was sick, not COVID, just stomach virus thing, or maybe ate something I shouldn't have, or ate too much of stuff. So what we're doing is we're pre-recording it on Twitch and then sending it over to YouTube to premiere at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, New Year's Eve. Doing it like at 4 in the morning, just because there's less likely something's going to interrupt. So yeah, with that said, this episode is brought to you by Back to Bragg's Twitch channel. Let's get into what we wanted to talk about on the very first episode, what people wanted to find out. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, on Premiere, the live Premiere, you know what I mean. I should be in the chat unless something else has pulled me away from what's going on. But we wanted to talk about preseason moves. This is really actually post-off-season moves. Pre-draft we'll start with. And the first one of that was we signed cornerback Matthew Hall. He's one of the last of the class of guys who have reemerged from the Shadow Realms back to the RFL, available to sign. Got him to improve the secondary, and he'll greatly improve the secondary. Last year our best corner was rated 80. Now our best corner's in 86, I believe, off the top of my head. With that, we had to release Kirkland Barnett, free safety, for us. That was for cap space. But it was sad to see him go. We drafted him, or not drafted him, we traded for him, thinking he'd give us a couple of years at free safety. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. He kind of took a big hit in the regression area. I believe that's the term. Off the top of my head, it's 4 in the morning when I'm recording this. But yeah, he took that big hit, and with the draft coming, even though he made some big plays in the season, we had to make the sacrifice to let him go, and that kind of hurt me. Just for this, you don't want to make a trade for someone you're only going to have for a year, unless correction, that's not always true. Sometimes you make a trade just so you have that guy for 1 year for the next guy to step up. And Kirkland ended up being that, but that wasn't the original plan. So with that not being the original plan, on a just moves, just on a move. Hold on, I have someone tapping my shoulder. Okay. Sorry, just logistically, you don't want to just make a trade for a guy you think you're going to have for a few seasons and then lose him. And then on top of that, I was a big fan of his, and I think he's going to his play and whatnot. He was versatile. He played cornerback when he needed to. We finally had things where we were comfortable being the starting free safety and finished the season playing free safety, and he played a great job. A starting free safety, that is. But yeah, that was a hard move for me to pull the trigger on. With that, our next move, and this is probably the biggest question people had, was the trade of Sanchez Lawrence to the Sacramento Condors. In exchange, we got Sherman Youngblood and the Condors' third-round pick that year. First off, let's talk about what we got first. First off, we got Sherman Youngblood, who should start on the offensive line this year. He'll help shore that up. Our offensive line was very good last year, but there's always room for improvement. Unless we have the 5 best offensive linemen, there's room for improvement. So we picked him up. That improves our line. We also got the 3rd-round pick. We'll talk about what we got with that later. And then there's a question, why trade Sanchez Lawrence, who had just been traded here the year before for a draft pick, 2nd-round draft pick. And that came down to this contractually would be this RFL Season 6 or the 2021 season is Sanchez Lawrence's and starting running back Vondre Bryson's last year on their contract. So once we got up the end of this year, we would have to make a decision. And the reason I chose Bryson over Lawrence is for starters, I can't trade Vondre Bryson, and I wouldn't anyway. But Lawrence was still not a legacy player, so I could trade him. Secondly, Vondre Bryson is a high 80. Sanchez Lawrence is a low 80. And my prediction is, by the time Sanchez Lawrence catches up to Vondre Bryson, while Vondre regresses and Sanchez Lawrence improves, unless Bryson has a big drop-off, I don't know if Sanchez Lawrence will ever be quite better than Vondre Bryson. He may be. You never know. It's hindsight, and even still, you can't 100% call it hindsight because, the Condors, who I hate trading them to my own division, but I'll get into that too here in a second. The Condors might use every ounce of, not materials, I'm blanking on the word. Every resource, thank you, to improve Lawrence over the next, few years. While I don't, we have a training plan on who we focus on to improve. You only get like 3 players a week to really focus on individually to improve quicker. And my plan probably would not catapult Sanchez Lawrence past Vondre Bryson. Maybe he does at some point, but if he does, it might only be for 1 year. It's not this year. Maybe Bryson has that big fall off and it's next year, but I doubt that. Maybe the year after that. We'll see. Hindsight will be 2020 then. But then you also gotta, even if it does happen, you gotta see what the Condors did and would it be different than what I did. But yeah, there's no way we would have signed Sanchez Lawrence and Vondre Bryson in the same year. So next, that led to more releases. The release of right tackle Derek Glover, the release of right tackle Anthony Graham, and the release of right guard Brennan Carden. And that again was for cap space, and just we didn't have much room for them. Especially with and part of that group of releases was also in preparation for the next trade we made. We traded away a 4th-round pick to the San Antonio Marshals. In exchange, we got left guard Bernard Allison and Russell Harold. Yeah, we got 2 offensive linemen, and they all have first names for last names. That again, these guys are younger offensive linemen. I don't believe they're ready to start for us. They probably could start for a few other teams' O-lines, but I like to emphasize on O-line. Like, if you don't have a good... It all starts with the O-line. If you don't have a good O-line, the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. The running back, unless he's Barry Sanders, isn't going to have holes to run through. So, constantly improving the O-line is a big thing for me. And hopefully, at least one of these two, hopefully both of them, along with... I can't think of his first name, but Cannell, who played for us last year. Wow, I do not want to see Ben Wakefield running. Sorry, lost. So hopefully these guys will improve enough to start, and I'll be comfortable with that. Cannell started a number of games last year when we realized the other guy was physically gifted, but his skills in blocking weren't that great. So we made the switch there last year during the season. But yeah, those were the moves we made before the draft. Now let's go to the draft and explain that. Our first pick, the number 21 overall in the first round, was free safety out of Penn State, A.J. Bowen. This one, I mean, if you saw a roster, especially with Kirkland Barnett out, getting a free safety was a big thing. Oh, sorry, let me rewind a second. Another part of trading Lawrence to the Condors, I meant to mention this, was we were trying to get things sorted out so we had time to maybe sign some more people before the free agent period ended. Unfortunately, we didn't get that done, but, I mean, we still got some stuff for him, so that's a big deal. So anyway, back to the draft. We draft A.J. Bowen out of Penn State first. We had the need for free safety. Free safety, I believe, is a very important position. One of the top 2, like, sole positions. Maybe it's because I'm a Ravens fan, and the 2 biggest positions on that defense were Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, free safety, middle linebacker. So I definitely needed a free safety. I liked A.J. Bowen because he seemed like a very smart player. He's not the biggest, he's not the fastest. We drafted him a 77 overall. We plan on him starting this year. It's not guaranteed. We'll see what happens in the preseason. Unfortunately, we only have one. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, we only have one preseason game. Fortunately, for risk of getting injured. Unfortunately, you're going to have 3 games, or we're only going to have 1 game against a real RFL team. The rest is, we're just scrimmaging against the Shadow Realm, so to speak. But yeah, A.J. Bowen was who we wanted. Some people thought, like, he wasn't on our radar. Like, we didn't expect him to... Oh, speak of the devil, is that Bowen? Yes, it is. Who can Bentley get him? No. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Some people thought he went on the radar because the idea would be, like, we wouldn't expect him to drop that far. After looking at mock drafts, most of them had him dropping that far. And surprisingly, a lot of these mock drafts had us picking him. Every time there was a change, like a trade of draft picks or something, it made us nervous because then those mock drafts kind of came obsolete when draft picks that involved picks in front of us were involved. Because if you watch, you watch a draft, one unexpected change or one trade can change the whole draft. But we hoped for him to drop that far. I don't want to say we expected him to, but we tentatively expected him to, but possibly he wouldn't. We did have a couple of backup plans, but the final plan we had to alternative to drafting him probably would be drafting for a position unexpected. I won't share that position because the more knowledge I share about plans, if I didn't draft a guy at that position this year, I'm probably looking to draft that position this coming year. So I'm gonna keep quiet on that. Then let's look at our other picks. Our 71st overall pick. What round was that? Trying to find what round that was. I believe that was the third round. We picked strong safety Randy Clark. 78 overall, not great. He may be able to. We're hoping he's able to improve enough to where he makes a good backup at safety. Maybe give us some room to move him around. Hopefully he's a good special team player. We'll see. Pretty much anything after A.J. Bowen was kind of a crapshoot. It wasn't a very deep draft. Though, I will admit, some people got some good picks in the later rounds. But we'll continue here. The next pick we got... Wait a minute here. Did we have 2 third-round picks? Yeah, I believe we did have 2 third-round picks. The next pick was a halfback, Jamar Silas. He's an elusive back, but he was 61 overall. But he's got some very good qualities to him, and he may be the kick returner for us this season. There's a 5-man battle. We'll see who wins that. But Silas is one of the contenders to be a kick and punt returner. Next we go on to our next pick. I'm trying to figure out where he was picked here. Excuse me. Okay, our 6th round pick. So I think we had 1st round pick, 2 third round picks in the 6th and 7th. Our 6th round pick was tight end Noah Sitton, or Sitton. He was the 64 overall. He's more of a possession tight end. He could, hoping he plays higher than his ability, and he's at least a decent backup, or possibly makes a move to fullback if needed. We'll see. It's early in his career. We'll give him a chance. And then after that, in the 7th round, we drafted Lane Smith, who will battle to be the starting fullback for us this year, though he's probably going to be the backup as of now, but you never know, injuries, or just what he shows us in the preseason as we go along. But yeah, that's the list of our off-season moves. up to the pre-draft and the draft. This Monday at 5:30 p.m. on Back to Brag Sports YouTube channel, we will have the premiere, hopefully, of San Diego Crusaders Game Day, and that'll be it will be live every game day at 5:30, whether we play at 6 or 8, leading into that first game. And there's our first round, or not first round traffic. There's our first off-season move, Matthew Hall. One of our big problems last year was a lack of turnovers, and it was a lot of dropped interceptions. A.J. Browns and Hall just showed you they can catch interceptions, as well as get in position to get interceptions and house them. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was talking about. We, yeah, 5:30 of every primetime game night we play on 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll do a half-hour pre-show talking about the upcoming game, talking about the other game, and anything else that comes up that we feel like talking about, and we'll take questions. So join us then. We'll see you Monday. We wanted to go check out the trailer, our trailer for Season 6. Check out the RFL's trailer for Season 6. The preseason starts tonight for the RFL. We're the main event. That's why we're the last game of the week and the last game of the night. Just go with it. Oh, and if we have any premiere games, those Saturday games, we'll have a pre-recorded Crusaders Game Day show that'll air an hour, half hour. We might do an hour show on those premiere days, but those will air an hour before the first game of the day on premiere night. Premiere night, Saturdays. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. We'll have a better setup going on. Let's check out this last play, and then we're gonna hit the break. Let's get one more last play. Something more exciting to end on. The Big Sack. Alright guys, thanks for joining us. We'll get one more play. We'll stop at 25 minutes. Offense gotta look good at least once. There you go. Alright everybody, thanks for joining us. Next time, Crew!